Tonight with D.C. and Maryland taking on the White House. Is President Donald Trump violating the Constitution by not divesting himself from his global financial empire? The Attorneys General of D.C. and Maryland have filed suit claiming President Trump is breaking the law by sharing in the revenue paid by foreign governments at his hotels and golf courses. They claim the Trump properties have an unfair advantage over competing local businesses. Now, if the suit makes its way to discovery, President Donald Trump could be forced to produce his tax returns. And of course, that's another goal of the lawsuit. Late this afternoon, I interviewed D.C. Attorney General Karl Racine and Maryland Attorney General Brian Frosh. Mr. Frosh, let me ask you this question. Don't you have to show that Maryland and D.C. have been harmed in some sort of way by this relationship the president has by holding on to his private businesses?
Well, we do. And they've been harmed just as all Americans have been harmed. The point of our lawsuit is that every American is entitled to honest government. When we cannot trust the president to put the interests of the United States and the interests of the individual who lives in the United States above his own business interest, we're all harmed. There are economic interests in the District of Columbia and in Maryland that are harmed by Donald Trump's businesses, but it's the corrupting influence of foreign payments to him that is the most compelling reason for us to bring this lawsuit.
Sean Spicer says it's just partisan politics. The president's businesses are doing well because he's in the White House. I mean, what is the problem there? And why aren't there other attorneys general standing behind you for this lawsuit? Why just the two of you?
Well, let me take both those questions on. Is this standard partisan politics? No, not at all. That's why we filed the case in a court where a neutral arbiter will determine whether our case has merit. That's point one. Number two, why aren't others standing by us? First, it's enough that the Office of Attorney General for the District of Columbia and the same office for Maryland feel as though the Constitution is being violated in their backyard. I do expect that in time we'll have a lot of support from Attorney General, and I don't want to be exclusive. We welcome Republican Attorney General support.
It's also been said out there today that you're really just trying to get a look at his tax returns. Is that part of this?
That's not the reason we filed the lawsuit, but we're certainly entitled to look at them. We're going to need to see his financial records. We want to know what payments he's received. He's the first president in history who's refused to disclose what his interests are, who he's getting money from, how much he's receiving, and how much he's paying in taxes. His tax returns will shed some light on some of this. They're important to the lawsuit, but so are the rest of his financial records.
I want to make sure, I just want to make one more stab at this, just so the guy out there on the street can understand. Your problem with President Donald Trump is that he has not totally divested himself from his businesses, correct?
That's right. He is putting his business interests over the interests of all the other Americans.
And you're also saying that because he hasn't done this and because of the brand, and the brand also belongs to now the President of the United States, he's getting businesses from foreign governments that other D.C. hotels and properties might be getting had it not been for the fact that Donald Trump sits in the White House. Is that correct?
That's correct, Bruce. And as you know, it's been publicly reported that fabulous hotels, including the Four Seasons, have lost business that had made reservations, businesses that had come to the Four Seasons to celebrate their country and their embassy, have now turned away from hotels like those and are doing business in the diplomat's favorite business now, which is the Trump Hotel.
I think it's also been reported that at a number of the Trump properties, the fees and the rates have gone up since he's been in the White House also. But he's entitled to do that, right? It's business.
Well, unfortunately, he's using the office of the presidency to do that. I mean, after he was elected, he doubled the fees at Mar-a-Lago, his Florida resort, from $100,000 to $200,000. And after the election, he also doubled the rate for room rental in the Trump Hotel in downtown Washington, D.C.
Mr. Racine, Mr. Farage, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
President Trump has placed his assets in a trust that his sons handle. Many believe that does not go far enough, and he still profits from those businesses. Well, 50 years